Welcome to Wildlife Outdoors with your host, Russell and Jose. If you have a passion for conservation of the outdoors, or you're enjoying a calming hike in the mountains, an exhilarating kayak trip on the river, feeling a fish on the end of your line, cooking on an open flame in a primitive campsite, or stalking big game, just waiting for the perfect shot, you're in the right place. So put on your boots and polarized sunglasses and come along for the ride.
What's going on, y'all? And welcome back to another Wildlife Outdoor episode. We are joined, as always, with Russell and then myself. And this is actually going to be the first episode in 2025 with a guest. And we're starting hot. Today's guest is a man of many talents. He gets pretty sick with it on the bike. He's got a green thumb. He's an animal lover. He loves to chase carp, and he is a dang Picasso on the vise. You probably have heard of him on Instagram. He goes by Ditch Fishing Flies, but we're joined today by Chris Kowaleski. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up?
Did I pronounce that right? I've never actually said your name out loud.
Pretty close. It's Kowaleski with sounds like a V, but it's a W. It's a secret V sound, but that's pretty close.
Interesting. Where does that? Do you know where it might originate from? That's interesting. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's Polish.
Oh, pretty sick, dude.
Yeah, man.
I know that in German that the V's and W's are opposite from one another. Like Volkswagen is, I've heard them say Volkswagen. So
really,
I wonder if it's I wonder if it's similar. I don't know.
That's pretty cool, man. But yeah, dude. So how goes it, man? Appreciate you hopping on with us.
Yeah, for sure. I'm stoked, man. I don't do this very often, so I'm a little nervous.
That's all good. I get nervous every time, as you could probably tell from that intro.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. It seems like no matter how many times we do this, like this is like episode probably 70 something, and I'm still like, I still got a little beads of sweat. Like I'm still nervous every time. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, dude. I thought I'd get somewhat used to it by now, but nah.
Yeah,
it's gotten a little easier, but I'm still not used to it myself.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So, but yeah, man. So, obviously, we know you for your fly tying and stuff like that. So is that something that you've been doing for quite a while, or how long have you been tying flies for?
It's about I will have tied my first fly almost 11 years ago, like next month.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But there's probably some time had passed between like doing that and actually getting into tying. So I don't know, 10 years would be safe to say anyway.
Still a good amount of time though.
Yeah. 9 to 10 years.
Dude, I can't even recall the first fly that I tied, let alone like time frame in which I tied it. How do you remember? Like, was it a particular moment in time that you just can recollect, or an event or something?
Yes, actually, very, very ingrained. It was a Trout Fest, and they had like tying demos, or not demos, but instruction, and you could go and sit with someone, and they'd teach you how to tie a fly, and it was a bully spider for bluegill, and I can't remember who was helping me do it, but next to me, I swear to God, dude, Lefty Cray was there teaching someone.
No.
And I was like, I didn't really know who he was at the time. I was like, who's this guy? And then like a few years later, I'm like, oh shit. That's crazy.
Dude, that is insane.
Man, sitting next to a legend, that is crazy.
Right.
I'm pretty certain.
Dude, that's awesome. I didn't even know the Trout Fest has been going on that long.
I didn't either.
When did they start doing Trout Fest?
I think it was relatively new around then. I don't know though. I don't know. I don't know because then or now.
Dude,
that is awesome though.
I went to Trout Fest last year. It was my first time going, and I actually saw you. You were stationed there and tying up some stuff. Was that your first time tying at that event, or have you done it in years past?
I think it was the second year. Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty sure second year. And
Damn, dude,
yeah, it's
full
fun.
circle.
It was
Taught
very
your
much
first fly, and now you're. That's
yeah,
sick.
it's wild turn of events. Not what I was expecting to happen or anything, and I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm just along for the ride, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So was that like, did you, like you said that there was some time, in between where you haven't tied and stuff like that, but did it become a passion almost immediately? Did you think that that was something that you would do even as a hobby for years to come after doing it that first time at Trout Fest?
No, not really. I was like, damn, this is tight, and I don't even think I started to pursue it or whatever. I guess there's like I don't know. I went fishing. I was at Rio Vista actually in town, and I it was at the point where it's like I'm still taking like a spinning rod because I can't fly rod correctly or anything, and um yeah, some dude saw me out there and he was like, he came up to me, he was like, yo guys, try your fly rod, and it's some dude, like old punk dude, came up to me, used the fly rod, and like was telling me all about it, and like he fly fished, and yeah, I don't know, got his number, and eventually, I don't know, I helped him like move after we had fished a few times or something, and he gave me
Nice.
some fly tying stuff, and like a one of the cheap vices, and like just a handful of materials to tie a like pheasant tail nymph, and
Mm,
yeah, and then I tied a few, and I was like, this is tight, and eventually, kind of that's where it was kind of like on and off because like the vice was. I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong, but the vice
yeah.
was running its course and not holding the hook, so it was not enjoyable anymore. And I was like, damn,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to do this, but this sucks. And then I upgraded, and then it's tight. I don't know. And I just kept doing it, and I don't know, man. It was fun.
That's great.
I
So,
had no.
so when you, oh my bad, man, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I didn't have any like thoughts or anything about it. I was like, this is neat. Let's do it. And yeah, like along for the ride, like straight up.
Yeah, dude. Because so I don't know if you remember, man, but I think I actually met you at Rio Vista one day. You were, I don't remember if you were testing out. I can't remember if you were testing out a rod or a fly, but you were out there and we got to talk, and you gave me two little pins. I have one of them
Yeah,
somewhere, but yeah, dude, and then a card also. I started following you on Instagram, and I didn't know, like, hadn't heard of you before then, obviously, but dude, I saw your stuff, like, man, this dude can fucking
I
tie. Pardon my
just
language, but he can spin some stuff, man. So, like, at what point did you decide that you wanted to take it more serious, or was that just kind of a natural progression, just with practice and things like that?
um, I don't know. It was just I didn't intend to take it serious, and I still don't too much.
Hmm.
But I don't know. My wife got the business cards made for me, and that was super cool. And yeah, I guess this was after like I was tying some stuff, and I was just posting stuff on Facebook, and someone wanted to buy some flies from me, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do it? And sold a couple, and I honestly I don't remember how it went further from there, but more people wanted some, so here we are
Yeah,
doing
that's
Dude,
pretty
that's
sick.
freaking
doing it here and
awesome.
there.
Humble beginnings. That's
Yeah,
pretty dope, dude.
just fun stuff, man. I don't know, you know.
Uh,
So it looks like you mainly tie streamers. Is that what you mainly like to fish with as well?
Man, I love fishing poppers. That's my favorite.
yeah.
Yeah, poppers are awesome.
But that said, I've been fishing streamers a lot more than poppers the last like 2 years for some
Mhm.
reason. Well, actually, because you catch more fish, but uh,
That's the reason.
it's also fun too because it's like you don't know
Yeah.
what's happening, and it's like, oh, there's a quick little dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah, dude, I prefer streamer fishing. Of course, poppers. There's nothing better than a topwater bite.
yeah,
But streamers for sure. And me living up here in Arkansas, we have some trout waters, and so I do nymph probably more than Jose does. But
Oh, I hate nymphing, dude.
I wouldn't consider myself a true blue streamer junkie, but I'm definitely leaning
that's
that
fine.
way.
Yeah.
If I'm tying on a nymph rig, dude, I think I just hit rock bottom. Like I think I gave up on everything else, dude.
I'd rather just go home, dude.
Dude, and then tying those little flies, man. Like my fingers are fat, and I don't have the dexterity or the patience. Well, I can't say the patience because I like tying bigger flies, yeah, and that takes some patience. But just I don't know, man. Tying the smaller stuff isn't as fun.
But
And
dude,
it's not.
tying the small stuff can also translate to helping you in the big stuff and vice versa.
Oh, that's
I
true.
don't know how it does, but it does somehow.
Maybe I've just been looking at it wrong.
Oh, this is much easier than I don't have to take 30 minutes on one fly. I can tie 10 in 5 minutes. And it's like, that's tight, you know?
Yeah, true. Like a zebra
I
midge,
can
you
see
can
how
knock those out pretty
how that
quick.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
You
when
know,
I say small,
know.
I mean smaller than like a size 12. Because I like most of my flies I tie now, probably, especially for around here, are like 8 to 10, maybe 12 on the smaller side. But yeah, size like 18. And then you see like the size, like 24s and stuff like that, dude. I could barely even see that. I don't know. That's
nah.
crazy.
I think the smallest flies I've tied were size 18 zebra midges, but a zebra midge is so easy. There's not really anything to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the smallest I've tied is size 18, and I was not a fan of that. And then, I mean, I'm just so used to tying streamers that I kind of put some oomph on the thread.
Yeah,
and
that's
when
the
you're using
hard
thread that small, the thread breaks so easy. It's just,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
But
make the hook point.
Oh, yeah. Done that.
Running out.
Dude, it's like the worst too, and you're kind of like wrapping up there towards the end. Everything's looking all good, and then there goes the thread. Maybe lose a little material like deer hair or something. Oh man, that's the worst.
Oh, man. Yeah, I couldn't imagine
yeah.
the deer hair.
I don't tie with deer hair very often, and if I do, I'm not doing like a deer hair head. But I could, dude, I would probably be borderline wanting to throw something if I broke my thread after I had done spun some deer hair.
I used to hate tying with deer hair. Well, let me rephrase. I used to be scared to tie with deer hair because it just looks so intimidating, and a part of it, and it kind of is. But once you get into it, it's so versatile. Like the things you can do with it, it's
Yeah,
become probably one of my favorite materials to tie with.
hell yeah.
It's so awesome. You can build a bunch of bulk without adding a lot of weight to push that water. I mean, you can mess around with density, control buoyancy and stuff like that. Like it's crazy what you can do. It's
And then
pretty
it
neat.
looks thick as hell, too, so.
Oh, dude, it moves so good in the water. It's badass. Sorry for my language again. Just got excited.
Damn.
Dude, so I guess like on that note, Chris, I also noticed that you like to tie with some unique color combinations, things that maybe most folks probably wouldn't think, and I dig it, dude. Like I like those vibrant colors, man. Especially those ripple clousers or those ripple fiber clousers. Those things are pretty sweet. What made you decide to try like mess around with those colors, with those color schemes?
Man, I don't know, man. Honestly, the first color, the first time I bought that material, it was like blue and yellow. They were just like weird kind of, oh, I don't know, kind of weird to me off the bat anyway. But I tied them and they worked like crazy. And I was like, damn. And then eventually it's just like, I'll tie one and it works and I'll fish it for a while. And my dog has to go eat suppers. Sorry. I tie one and it works. And then I'm like, okay, different color. And I just look at all the colors I have and just put them next to each other and see what happens. I don't know. And they usually
like throwing a bunch of stuff at a wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty much literally what I did like 10 minutes ago. I just put
Yeah.
two
Dude, that's
together
awesome.
or three, and it was like, let's see what this looks like. And then I'm just like, and then I'm like, yeah. And then the fish are like, hell yeah, let's eat it, you know? Well, usually, I don't know.
That's
That's
pretty
awesome.
sweet, dude.
So do you ever have like go into trying to create a new design or anything like that with an inspiration, like thinking, I want to do this, or is it always just kind of like, I think the fish will like this? Or do you
Man,
have a process?
honestly, I'm not really like do much of like fly designing.
Mhm.
I just usually do like I like just to do the colors. I don't know.
I see.
Designing, it's like designing flies is very cool. Don't get me wrong, but like it just takes more time for me to do that than to pick different colors.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely makes sense.
And and I usually just tie what I think looks cool personally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think of like
Well, seems to be working.
blending different contrasting colors or something, or like just like a hint of something there that like you might not really think anything of it, but it's like that's there. I can see it. I don't know if that makes any
Yeah.
sense, but that's like I
Yeah.
can't tie a
It does.
fly,
It does.
you know, like a white fly, just all white. I can't do it because I got to put something else, a little splash of something in there. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's yeah. I'll
I'm
look
kind of
up,
the same way.
just like look at all the colors, and it's just like boom, 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 pick these, and these will go good together, and it's like put them together, and looks pretty tight. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way whenever I get to tying that, and that's kind of why I don't really like tying flies for white bass and stuff like that, because everybody's like, "Oh, just little white bait fish," and I'm like, "Well, put some pink or some blue or some
Yeah,
chartreuse or something in there." Like,
they
I
use
can't
that
do just
too.
a plain white fly,
Yeah, it's negative space.
dude.
White fly
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
negative space.
See, I think when I first started tying, I was leaning more into just like natural colors. So just like the olives, the browns, the
Natural
whites,
colors.
things like that. Match the hatch. And it was great. Like, I mean, it was fine. It was, I mean, obviously, like, it caught me fish. But I think, honestly, when I started tying or getting more into streamer fish or like tying streamers, especially bigger streamers, I got on a kick like, a year or two ago. Granted, again, I haven't tied flies in it's been a minute, but like a year or two ago, I got into a kick of tying with deer hair. So I was trying to tie like these reverse bulkhead deceivers and stuff like that,
Yeah,
like Bob Pop
that's
and
some
Gunnar
key.
Brammer. Yeah, dude, he had some awesome videos on YouTube about that stuff, and it was also pretty fun, just like messing around with different colors and things like that. And then there's another, maybe it was Eric Hirsch, can't remember, but he had some
Mhm.
pretty sick flies called the like the thrash or whatever. What he would, it
Oh,
was like dubbing, but he had like a deer hair like head, I guess, and then he put dubbing in front of it, so that head kind of helped the dubbing kind of like flare out, but not, and also like not collapse underwater. But he has some pretty sick color combinations too, and then also, I mean, of course, Chris's stuff. So I decided to try and like, you know, kind of step outside the box and throw in a little bit more color here and there in my flies, and I dig it, man. I think it's fun just just doing that, and
yeah.
I really don't think fish are, they can be picky for sure, but especially bass, because I mean, you walk into Bass Pro and stuff like that, see all these crazy lures and colors and things. I don't think they care at times. It's more like maybe profile and action and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I think they're a bit more forgiving when it comes to color combos, so you can have a little bit more fun with it. I think you'd be surprised, what you can catch fish on.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like yeah, that's the thing. It's like I fish one color, and then it's like okay, it's working, and then like let's try a new color. It's like a challenge, you know. Let's
Yeah.
see if it'll work. And
So I guess to that end, have you ever, just for the fun of it, like whipped up something just like totally obnoxious and crazy, and just like, so I'm gonna see if I can catch a fish with this thing?
maybe I mean Yeah, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now.
Mm.
But I mean, I've been really into fishing like old flies, like shit that's been in my fly box for like 6 years or more that I tied like, yeah, then, and something was wrong with it or I didn't like it, and I just been like fishing them, just see what happens because it's like can't lose if they haven't they just
Right.
sat there, and they could work, and
Yeah.
sometimes they do.
Have they been working?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the poppers do usually because they're
Yeah.
just chugging along. But yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
Either I catch fish on them or I lose them, unfortunately. But we'll see
Right.
see what we can do.
Is there do you have like a particular fish you like to chase?
Yeah, carp are sick. I haven't fished for them in a long time. They're probably my favorite. Um, but yeah, I've been really into the bass mostly recently. Um, crappie are cool, man. I just went back home to the woodlands and we went fishing. And normally we go down and we can catch like crappie at this time of year, and it's just like it's so sick because you don't,
Hmm.
I don't know, don't normally have that opportunity. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
going down there, it's like, or well, I guess we can also there's like several there you can catch like 7 species in like 30 minutes. Um, if you're in the right time or the right spot, but it's very diverse. So anything down there is
That's
tight.
Hmm.
awesome.
It's like you
I didn't know
fishing.
you were from that area.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. When I've been up here since 2012, and
Sweet,
I
yeah.
dude.
see.
You ever fish the canals and stuff in Houston for carp?
We have gone down there. I want to fish it more, but me and a few homies went down for the Holy Carp tournament. I think a couple times, like several years ago, and that's the only time I've done that. And I didn't catch anything, but it was crazy. Uh, it was just, dude, it was so sick. I don't know. My buddy McLean caught like a 36-inch grass carp, like sipping a dry fly out of a
God
river, and
dang.
it's like, dude, are you kidding me? This is in Houston, and then like, yeah, you hear fishing in these ditches, and there's like gunshots, and like you smell people cooking burgers, and it's just like, what is this? Or like just
That's
people jogging, and or I don't know. It was wild. Um,
Dude, that's
I
insane.
dig it. Um,
urban
I've
fishing
I've
in
never heard of that
spots.
tournament before.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Where's that at?
it was at Bayou City Anglers. Um,
Okay,
but it hasn't happened in a minute. I don't think.
Hmm.
I see.
Um,
Huh.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
freaking awesome though. Yeah, I've only been to the Bayou there twice, and both times I don't think I've really had any luck. I caught a crab last time I was there, um, and it pinched the hell out of me. And then the time before that, I didn't catch anything. So, but I've seen. I mean, it's crazy how many species are there. You know, there's grass carp and common carp,
alligator
and
gar.
of course, there's the armored catfish, the gar. You got tilapia.
Yeah,
I
it's sick.
mean, all sorts of stuff there. It's insane.
Dude, when I was living in College Station, my buddy Javier and I would go sometimes on the weekends just to get out of College Station. We'd go to Houston, and there was this one place that he used to visit more frequently than I did. So he kind of got familiar with a couple different spots, and we would go to this one spot, and dude, it was crazy, man. It was, I mean, we're essentially fishing behind a Bucky's, and
Yo,
we were, dude, I think we caught like I don't even know. Like Chris was saying, like 6 or 7 different species. I mean, crappie, bluegill. I think we caught some rios. Caught
yeah,
a quad. No, sorry, not a quad. Largemouth. I think we might have caught a spot. We
dude,
saw a
spot.
freaking koi fish. Dude, it was. I mean, you never know what's in there. Carp were in there. I just never hooked on some buffalo were in there. Man, all kinds of stuff. It's pretty. It's pretty cool, dude. Like the urban fishing there around Houston. It's I don't know. I do kind of miss that. I wish I'd done more of that while I was like in
Yeah,
College Station, but
yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
yeah. I wish I grew up doing fly fishing down there. Because damn, that would have been sick as hell.
Well, over in the Woodlands, there's a bunch of like smaller ponds and stuff
Yeah.
too, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I fished when I was down there, but not I didn't fly fish. I didn't. I fished mainly the ponds, but like, dude, the creeks, man,
Yeah.
they're so
Yeah.
sick. It's like a whole other
Yeah, pretty
world.
cool.
Yeah.
You ever go?
I actually go ahead.
You ever go fly fish the Sam Houston National Forest?
No, I have not. That would be super cool though. We've talked about trying to do that, but I haven't done it.
Dude, it's pretty awesome, man. If you like creek fishing, that's a lot of fun. It's like fishing in a jungle almost. It's pretty wild.
Damn. Yeah, that sounds dope.
Yeah, I've never been. I would like to go though. I did, I bought Rob's book and I've reading through it and looking at it and seeing some of the pictures and I'm like, oh, dude, it looks like so much freaking fun. But I've never even been over there, so we
Oh,
need to
it's a
make it
blast.
happen
Well, for sure.
and hopefully not get a blowout.
Dude, those wading boots were trash.
I believe we've all had some.
I had to walk like a mile back to the truck with my big toe hanging out,
Oh god.
hoping a copperhead wouldn't bite me. That would suck.
Dude, that would definitely suck ducks.
Suck ducks.
Now I'd like to kick it to today's sponsor, Foretold Coffee Company. Elevate your outdoor adventures with Foretold Coffee's premium single origin coffees, meticulously roasted to satisfy both specialty coffee professionals and nature enthusiasts alike. Founded by former airborne cavalry scout Joshua Sandoval, his mission is to bring the mountains home with every cup. Experience their 3 flavors, Peruvian cocoa, El Salvadoran bourbon, and Mexican honey, which is my favorite. So check them out at foretoldcoffeeco.com. So Chris, you've obviously fished in the Woodlands and Houston area, and of course San Marcos. Have you gone abroad anywhere or gone to any pretty interesting places fly fishing before?
No, fished a little bit in Canada on a trip.
Really?
Yeah, not to do that, but I did it. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
And
Yeah. How was that?
It was fine. It was caught us pike, hammerhand
Nice.
pike. The fly was like half the size of the fish. And I caught a largemouth. I mean, it was fun, but I think it was like hot for them up there,
I see.
and I don't know. Yeah, there could have been more fish, but it was still tight. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
it's a rough
Yeah,
time.
it's weird. Then, like when I think of northern pike, I always think of pike, like big pike. And when I was in Alaska, not last summer, the summer before, my brother-in-law was like, 'cause my entire family's up there. Not my entire family, but majority of my father's side of the family is up there. And so my brother-in-law was like, "Hey man, let's go catch some northern pike." And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So I take my freaking, it was either an 8 weight or a 10. I think it was a 10 weight that I took out there. BC big fly, and I'm throwing these huge like articulated craft for bait fish that I tied up, and then the pike were like 18 inches long, and I was just like, "What the hell?" I mean, I was catching them, but it was they were a lot smaller than I mean, hell, I catch pickerel here in Arkansas bigger than all the pike that I caught up there. But yeah, I wasn't catching anything big. And same thing, it was like they were having a heat wave when I was up there, and it was in the 90s like every day, and there's forest fires everywhere surrounding, and so there's just so much ash in the air and stuff, and it was just hot. So the fish weren't as active. I mean, I think I caught one night. I caught like 8 of them or something like that. But they were all fairly small.
Damn. So I guess like on that note, Chris, is there anywhere you'd like to go try and fish, or any fish species in particular you'd like to catch?
A big ass pike
Yeah,
or muskie, I don't know. Something like that would be quick though. I don't know. That's probably that would be the coolest, or like just some big smallies or something. But I like big flies, like big flies, like musky flies. I like that, and I think it would be cool to use one and catch a fish on one, other than having.
Dude, I want to go musky fishing so bad.
I mean, it sounds good, but also does not sound good. But I don't know. It would be tight.
Well, I just think about how many times I go fishing and get skunked, or catch one fish, or downsize enough to catch at least a bluegill so I don't get skunked.
Mm-hmm.
And with all that time that's happened, I probably, if I was fishing for muskie, hopefully would have at least hooked one by now. So it's like I could either get out there on a river and get skunked, or I can go somewhere where there's muskie and have a chance. But then again, I'm only 4 hours from muskie water, so it's probably a little bit easier for me.
Yeah, man. What are you doing?
Obviously not fishing. Well, I mean, 50 feet from where I'm sitting right now, I got 30-pound carp in the springtime, so I go fish for those, and that's probably when I should be out muskie fishing and going a little further up north. But they're
bow fishing.
They're tempting.
Or fishing for both. I was gonna say I said bow fishing, but I meant fishing for bow fin. Those are two very different things.
Right. I did. I went chasing bowfin a couple months ago and didn't have any luck, and ended up breaking my rods. That's always fun.
That sucks.
Yeah. But I mean, actually that reminds me. I don't think I've actually got a spare section on that yet. I need to order that because now my 6-weight Axiom 2X is out of commission. And that's my bass rod.
Is that a TFO?
Yeah.
Just hit them up, dude. Supposedly they're good at it.
I need to. They are. I've broken that rod 3 times.
All right then.
Yeah, it's that's my beater rod. I take that rod everywhere, and I catch everything on it, and I beat that rod up. This last time though, like normally I'm breaking the tip, but this time I broke the butt section because I slipped and fell. I tripped over a cypress knee and fell, and it landed right on another cypress knee and just snapped it right where my hand was at. Yeah, and then I found the bowfin after that, but didn't have a rod to cast at him.
So while we're on the topic of rods, was it a year ago now? Maybe I don't even know at this point. But I built a rod, and largely that was due to inspiration from Chris and Grant. I saw photos and videos of those dudes making some rods, and man, it was something I always wanted to do, just never did. At least not since high school. But my first rod in high school, but not a fly rod. It was a conventional. It was a casting rod for my grandfather. And man. So because of you and Grant, I was like, dude, I got to try this. But have you since then? Have you made any more? Is that something that you're still doing?
Man, I
have plans to do.
I have plans. I have a blank, and I think all the hardware and stuff to do it. Just haven't done it. But I can't remember at the when around the last time I made. I don't know. I've made 2 total so far, and I have a plan to do a third one. But yeah, I haven't. I just haven't done it yet. And yeah, I don't know.
Nice. Is it a fiberglass or what?
Yeah, it's a glass 5-weight from McLean Pelagos fly fish.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you got?
Yeah, I ordered a pelagic. Is it pelagic or Pelagos? I don't even know.
What Pelagos?
Pelagos?
Yeah.
Pelagos?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's Pelagos.
Pelagos? I don't know. Tomato, dude. Sorry, no offense if you're listening, man, but your rods are sick. I love my blank. But yeah, I ordered. I don't even know how I stumbled upon them. Maybe it was because of you, Chris, because I think you maybe mentioned something in your post. But I really like his glass rods are sweet, and
yes.
I got the clear one, or the natural one, I guess would be the white one, whatever that is. Yeah, that one's pretty sweet. And I saw that he has I guess second generation blanks too, or his second iteration ones. I've been tempted to buy one of those because those things look pretty dope too.
Oh, you should, dude. I
Dude,
can do the same. He's got, I think, some like cool like green or brown colors, and it's
yeah,
like
that
that's
green one.
Yeah, that green one looks sick. I have the
Yeah.
blue one. And Jose can't build any rods until I get done with his stuff. I have a blank sitting in the corner, and he lent me some of his hardware and building materials, and they're still sitting in the corner as well. So I need to get to that so Jose can build his next rod.
Dude, the next rod that I want to build is a glass 3-weight. One of my favorite rods I've ever owned was a 3-weight Benwick Ben glass, and I
dude,
foolishly
yes,
got.
dude.
Ah, man, I love that rod, and I miss it. I foolishly let it go a couple years back, and I've been missing it ever since. The problem is, I mean, for me, like the length as a creek rod was like perfect. I think it was like 6 foot or 6'6". Can't remember. It was a short rod, but it was awesome, and it was so much fun to fish with. And I've been wanting to try and find a glass um, blank 3-weight in the roughly the same length, because most of the ones I found were a little bit longer than that, like 7 foot, closer to 8 foot. I think I finally may have tracked one down. So I'm
Oh
gonna have
yeah,
to try and pick up that blank and build a little glass 3-weight, dude. I miss that thing.
Was that orange one that you had?
It was like a like a
Like
dark
brown?
orange,
Yeah.
like brownish orange, whatever.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
that rod was sweet.
yeah, I
yeah.
love that
Those
rod.
look good, man. I had one, and I somehow I liked it, but I didn't like it. I'm wondering if I just had the wrong line on it, but
Yeah,
I traded it to a buddy, and he's digging it. And they look so sick though, like the vintage looking
They
brown,
do.
translucent.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, it was an adjustment for me learning how to cast a glass rod because I'm so used to fast action rods, and then going to a glass rod, it was just far different. And at first, I was like, I hate using this thing, but
It's the best.
I learned and adjusted, and it's a lot better in my opinion for like finessing and stuff like that.
yeah,
And that's why I bought that Pelagos blank to try to build a carp rod, kind of following like what Jose did, but just haven't done it yet.
dude. In
It's easier
glass
than you
rods,
think.
they're sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
Oh, it's easier than you think it is to build a rod.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. You just don't know, so you don't do it, and then it's like literally the hardest part is getting started, and then or hardest part is like having the time to do it. I guess probably, but
yeah,
like if you
Yeah.
can, if you can tie a fly, you can wrap a rod. The epoxy is a little
yeah,
intimidating because it's permanent, but apparently it's not very permanent if you just cut it off or burn it off or however you can remove it. So if you do mess up
I see.
that, you can just start over, you know?
yeah.
And
Well, that's good to know.
yeah, I don't know.
When I was making mine, I when I was trying to ream out the grip to fit over the cork, or sorry, fit over the blank, I got a little too excited and I removed too much material and it had a lot of wiggle. And there's like a little gap at the very end where the cork I guess meets the blank. And I was like, damn it, dude. So I had to order another. I guess I didn't have to. I could have made it work, but it just bothered me too much because I guess I get a little OCD about that type of stuff. So I just ordered a new grip, and then I was a lot more careful reaming out that one. And then I just kept the one I messed up. I was like, well, if I ever build like a 10-weight or an 8-weight or something, then I could probably just use it then. So I just held on to it. But I messed up then, and then the what's it called? I think the thing that was intimidating to me was also the guide spacing because like every manufacturer seems to have their own, I guess, specs for that stuff. But the gentleman over at Pelagos, he was kind enough. I was talking with him before I ordered the blank, or I think I maybe had already ordered the blank, and he spined it for me and everything,
Hell yeah.
and uh, and he made like I think if I'm not mistaken, he gave me I guess like a chart of the distances of where to place the guides or something like that. Maybe I can't remember. I know he spined it for me for sure. I just did that, and I mean, yeah, wrapping the guides wasn't terribly difficult. The epoxy was a little nerve wracking, I will say, for me anyway. But it wasn't that bad. It took, if all in all, it took, oh man, it took me a couple months just because I had roommates, and for me to apply the epoxy, I had to have like a table set up and all that stuff, and I just didn't want to inconvenience them. So I was just wait. I knew at one point they were both going to be gone on vacation, and it'd just be me in the house. So I was just waiting till then, and while they were gone, I just finished it. So I was like laying in the corner, wrapped up, waiting, chilling. But
Oh man, dude, the epoxy was so scary for me, dude. I had a rod wrapped and sitting in my shop for like 7 years. It's just go to this epoxy, and it's like I worked with epoxy on something else, and it's like, oh, this is it. And it's like, what am I doing? Get this thing out of here. And it's like epoxy. And it was just fine. Had nothing to worry about the entire time. So yeah, it's not as scary as it actually is. It's all in the brain.
That's more of a mental thing.
Yes.
Dude, and actually, I was like, during the process of me building this rod, I was actually hitting up Chris like, "Yo, dude, you got some time? I got questions for you." And so he was pretty chill about it, and he really helped me out, man. And so I also owe part of my partly the completion of my rod to him too, because man, that thing, it was a little scary for me going into it. But that's
See, if
cool,
someone who's never done it before, doesn't know anything about rod building, can help someone build rods. Maybe that's my gift. I don't know.
And then I might be mistaken, but didn't you help Grant or something make his rod too?
Yeah, we had oh, that's when I finished mine. The one that I didn't wrap or didn't epoxy for 7 years. We had we got a bunch of dudes here in San Marcos, and we have tie nights, and some of the older fellas, they got a whole bunch of rod making stuff, and like when it was an actual club in San Marcos, they had they would have like rod building. Sometimes they would have rod building or like net making, and I don't know. There was there was a guy who makes rods like crazy. So we all just, instead of tying night, we had rod making, and then we just messed around, did whatever we needed to do, and then like took it all home and just epoxied it or whatever, or epoxied it there. I don't know, just all kind of just built rods. I mean, it wasn't
awesome.
it wasn't all in one night, but
Yeah,
we did our
that's
homework,
sick.
and yes, it was very cool. And the the older gentlemen are very generous and very cool. And
Dope,
That's
man.
awesome.
So are you guys still having fly tie nights out there in San Marcos?
January 21st at Middleton Brewery in San Marcos, Texas.
Dude, that's a pretty
6:30.
cool spot, man.
Yeah, pull up, dog.
Dude, I've only been to one, bro, and you weren't there. Grant was.
Oh, you made it? You made it to one?
Yeah. I forgot because you guys have them during the week, and at the time when I was in College Station, I was just never able to go during the week because I had class or
Like,
research or whatever, something going on. But for some reason, I can't remember why, I happened to be in town the same time you guys were having a fly tie night. So I actually took Russell and I have a mutual friend, Matt. We went to high school together, and he dabbles in fishing, mostly conventional, but I convinced him to come along with me, which is kind of crazy because he never likes to go to these types of things. But he went, and so we were just hanging out, drinking beer, and I didn't bring any of my fly tying stuff just because I didn't think I was going to actually make it. So I was just kind of chilling and talking with some of the folks there. Met some of the guys. Really cool group, dude. And Grant, man, he was super nice. He actually let Matt lent him his vise and some material, and he whipped up his first fly that night. I think it was, if
that's
I'm
what
not
it's
mistaken, I
about.
think it was a reel getter. Yeah, dude, and Matt was pretty pumped about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then Grant showed me how to tie, I think it was Johnson's Creek Leech, and he's a pretty good teacher, dude. But yeah, man, like those guys, they know what's up. It's pretty awesome, man. If I could make it, I would. I'd love to. Hopefully, I can sometime.
Well, they'll be happening, so in time.
Yeah, I need to make it down to one, but it's a 9-hour drive, so I don't
Worth
think that'll be
it.
happening anytime soon.
Virtual Skype, man.
I
Right.
mean, who knows, dude? Who knows what the future holds?
You're not wrong. I mean, hell, we've talked about doing
Look
Fly
how
Time nights. So maybe we could like
technological we're doing right now.
collab on it or something.
We did one.
Yeah, we did do one.
One live Fly Time stream.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
We
need to do more. We need to do more stuff like that because I need to get behind the damn vice.
Dude, I need to too. I have all my material here, and I've yet to. I think I take it back. I've tied 3 at the end of 2024, and I realized my epoxy had gone bad and kind of solidified, so I got to order some before I can finish.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh well. It be what it be, man.
Yeah.
It do be what it do be sometimes.
But so I see that we got about we got a couple minutes left in the podcast. And speaking of new things, I know this is kind of an abrupt transition, but how would you like to be the guinea pig of sorts, Chris, with a new thing we want to try and implement onto the podcast?
Yeah, let's do
it. So one of the things, did you mention this to him, Russell, before the?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Just I didn't want
to
put
him 100% on the spot.
Yeah, I just didn't want to like totally blindside him. So kind of like Russell said, this year we want to try and implement some things that, or at least be more consistent about certain things, because like in the past we had that one Fly Time night. Hopefully we can do some more in the future. But as far as podcasts go, we thought it'd be kind of fun to incorporate something and just have some fun with the guests that we have on. And so today we're going to do some trivia. And I've kind of outlined 5 fairly broad categories, and I'm going, and maybe we don't really know how we're going to do this going forward. Maybe like one week, like I can ask the questions, and next week Russell, or whatever. This week, I wrote the questions. Partially why I was late to joining you guys, so apologies for that. I thought I'd have more time to do it, but did not. So that being said, I have 5 categories, and I've already mixed up the cards, but they're going to be essentially one is going to be over pop culture in the outdoors. So it could be anything from like maybe famous actors or musicians or whatever who might engage in some kind of recreational activity. The other one's going to be history, so any kind of historical facts or tidbits that might be related to the outdoors. 3 is going to be skills, 4 gear, and then 5 is just kind of where I give like a brief description of a creature, a little critter, and you guys kind of got to guess. And so we'll see how this goes. We might have to kind of modify some things, maybe do multiple choice or something. I don't know, but I try to make it fairly and it was hard because like it's going to be different because each guest, because we try to get a diversity of guests, and each one kind of has like their own little like niche, their own specialty. So I want to be able to try and cater these questions to where it's like a level playing field for both guests. So since both of you guys like fly fishing or fishing in general, I try to make these related to that. So hopefully things will go well. And there may or may not be a little surprise at the end for the winner. So we'll see. So how do you feel about that?
Let's do it.
I'm down with it.
All right.
So is this going to be like a whoever answers first type of thing, or back and forth like a snake draft kind of answering questions?
I think what we're going to do, I need to keep track of this. So I think what we're going to do is both of you will say your answer, and I'll give you guys like, don't say it immediately once you get it. If you have something to write it down, you can, but I'll give you guys like 30 seconds or a minute or so to think about it. And then when you're ready, just let me know. And then, you could go for, or, take turns saying your answer, and then whoever gets it gets the point. And the person with the most points at the end, they win. So,
okay.
Yeah, because these are like, this batch of questions in particular, they're just open-ended questions, so the answer could literally be anything, just whatever you guys say.
Okay.
If it's a little too broad, like in the future, if this is something we want to keep doing with guests, I might have to do like multiple choice or maybe a mix, because I don't know. We'll just see how this goes, because this is the first time we're doing this. So hopefully it goes well. We'll see.
Alrighty.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
So
All
we
right,
write down our
question. Yeah,
Or
you
what?
can, or you can just, I mean, as long as like you
Okay.
remember whenever, it comes time. So I guess whenever whenever you've got your answer, just let me know. Just say, ready or got it or whatever. Just a heads up of some sort, and then we can kind of proceed from there.
Work.
Okay.
Tan bueno?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Dope. All right. First question. Chuck Reagan is a hardcore angler and a stellar musician. His discography includes a song title that shares a name with a medical condition where the affected may experience nausea and dizziness on land. This can be experienced after traveling by sea or air. Name that song.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Chuck Reagan is a hardcore angler and stellar musician. His discography includes a song title that shares a name with a medical condition where the affected may experience nausea or dizziness on land. This can be experienced after traveling by sea or air. Name that song.
I think I got it.
Oh man.
All right, Russell's buzzing in. Kind of, sort of, maybe.
Buzz.
Chris is thinking.
Yeah, you're going.
This is a really good. This song is
Uh,
really, really good too. I like it. And well, I'll wait till after you guys are done.
I got nothing.
You got nothing, dude.
Blank.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're I guess waving the flag. All right, Russell. What's
Yeah, go for it.
hold
Send it.
on, dude. 15 seconds. I'll give you 15 seconds, Chris. Come on.
Oh boy.
Can we answer the Jeopardy theme?
Dude. I don't know if that's copyrighted or not.
Probably.
Nada. All right. Well,
Yeah.
let's hear your answer, Russell.
Well, I don't know who the artist is, and I don't know what song, but going only by the medical term, I'm thinking jet lag.
Negative.
Damn.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give you a chance for a Hail Mary, Chris. Send it. Anything?
Just sick, man. I don't know. I'm drawing a
Well,
blank.
sick is part of it.
Sick
is part of it. So the term is land sick.
Oh my god, I had seasick originally.
Land sick, yeah. So apparently it's actually like a condition. Land sick is a condition where it's kind of similar to seasickness, but I guess it's where like you get off the boat and or plane and you still kind of have that dizzy feeling. But his song kind of plays homage to his passion for fishing and water and stuff like that. And what I was going to try and say before is, with each question, I would like to try in the future to incorporate a little fun fact. And I pretty much only have that for him because it was a lot of writing more than I expected, and I didn't have enough time. So I'll read what I got. Chuck Reagan grew up fishing the lakes and rivers of Texas, East Tennessee, North Georgia, and the waters of Louisiana and Florida. He even has ties to fishing the Blanco near Kyle.
Yo.
His music career began around the year 94 in Gainesville, Florida. His band, Hot Water Music, toured across the globe. He moved to California and continued writing songs, his trades in carpentry, and of course, fishing. Eventually, he slowed the touring and started guiding for a nonprofit called Cast for Hope. He now operates a guide service in Cali called Chuck Reagan Fly Fishing. And there's actually, I found out in my very, very brief research that I guess he partnered with Costa for a film called Land Sick. And I didn't get to watch it. I have to watch it later, but pretty cool and pretty good song, man. I really dig it. And actually, I listen to it sometimes when I'm about to go fishing. So
Hell yeah.
cool.
I need to check it out. Never heard of it.
He had
All right.
Y'all listen to Secret Society of Fly Tires?
Yeah.
No, I've never.
Damn, you should check it out because
You should.
it's very good. And he was on one episode, and it was also very good. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna have to
Very
check that one out.
independent.
Dude, we should get him on, man. I didn't realize that he had fished in Kyle, Texas. That's crazy.
Yeah, that
Right.
is very cool.
Hell, I mean, you and we used to fish Blanco all the time,
Yeah,
right? When my
bro.
house is in Blanco Vista.
Yeah, I think Chris,
No,
you fished there too, haven't you?
Yeah, I know exactly where that is. I got some homies over there. That's sick.
Yeah, dude. Kyle, Texas. That's crazy. But all right.
Insane.
Question 2. I got my phone out. I'm going to put a little timer. So that's a big goose egg for everybody.
Oh boy.
Damn.
Okay. Let me set the timer for 1 minute. Hopefully 1 minute is enough time. Okay.
I should be.
Question number 2. This fly tying vice company is headquartered in Orange, Massachusetts. The company as we know it today was acquired in 2004 and is known for their impressive jaw strength. What vice company is it? Start the timer. Pretty poor. That's probably my bad. That's pretty poorly written. But I couldn't figure out a way to ask the question without giving it too much information.
I don't know anything about vices.
Some might even call it bulldog powerful.
Yeah.
I think Chris is pretty confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one name of vice that I know, and I'm pretty sure it's not it, but
Dude, we got 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Come on, man. There's Peak, there's Dynaking, there's Regal, there's
yeah, well, Peak and Regal were the only two that I know. So
ooh,
yep.
bro.
Nope.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Answers, please, gentlemen.
Regal.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say was Regal, but I don't. Regal and Peak are the only two vices that I even know.
So no answer for you?
I mean, my answer was Regal.
Oh, it was?
But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it's Regal.
But,
well, it's Regal.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, when you said it as one of the options, I just assumed that it wasn't it.
All right.
Because I have a Regal, and that's the only reason I know. And then I have a Peak, the little arm. It has little mountains on it for the hold your the bobbin holder or whatever. So those are the only two that I know.
So that's one thing that I had trouble with the questions. Like, man, how do I write these without like giving up too much information? So I don't know. That was kind of challenging. But anyways, we're all tied up now. Next question. Let me get my timer again. Ready? Just get that. Okay. This fish is native to Central and East Central South America. It boasts a large head and powerful jaws and is quite athletic, making it a popular fish for sport fishermen. Its beautiful color inspires its name, which translates to gold. Name that fish. Timer started. Both looking a little puzzled.
Yeah, I was right.
It's probably the best thing I could. So the name, the Latin is derived from Latin, translates to gold. That's probably the best descriptor I can give of it without giving it away. Central and East Central South America.
I think I have something, but
I mean, I've been seeing a bunch of this on Instagram a lot in the rivers and stuff in the Amazon. Well, sorry, not Amazon, but in the rivers of South America. That is timer. Answers, gentlemen.
Dorado.
Dorado. Also,
it is Dorado. Dang. Okay, tied up. I was really, really worried that these were going to be like really arbitrary and.
I was going to say peacock bass until you said gold.
See, that's what I was thinking, but I was like, well, Golden Dorado. I was like, I don't know. That's kind of.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying not to make it too easy, but not too hard either. But
Yeah.
okay. What question are we on? I don't even know. 4? Question 4, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
I'll start there. Okay. This conservation group was founded in Michigan in 1959. Today, they are 300,000 members strong and have chapters across the globe, Texas having one themselves. Their vision is to repair and renew rivers, streams, and other waters we depend on, as well as a particular fish that it's named after. What is it?
I feel like Chris knows this one.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the last bit was a little too much.
I'm drawing a blank, absolute blank.
Dude, are you sandbagging? I feel like you're sandbagging.
No, I really have nothing.
Okay, it's a conservation group. Pretty popular. Chapters everywhere. Texas has one. I guess I don't say anything because Texas has quite a few, but still.
I think I think I have something. I don't know.
So, are you guys both ready? I guess to give your answer. You got 18 seconds for us. If you're not confident,
I'm not going to come up with anything.
Are you
else.
sure?
Yeah. What I have is what I have.
All right.
I think I'm a member of it.
Okay. Well, then, gentlemen, your answers, por favor.
Trout Unlimited.
Trout Unlimited.
Trout Unlimited is indeed the answer.
Yeah. I was thinking, I was like, I didn't know it was started in Michigan.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I did not either.
I got the little pocket knife and I got the little notepads that I get every month.
Your address labels with address.
Yep, address labels, stamps.
Dude, for some reason 1959 seems fairly recent. I thought it was older than that, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's not, but I thought it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. This reel manufacturer is headquartered in South Florida and lays claim to an astonishing world record count of over 950. This is a fly reel company. I don't think I made that qualifier. What reel company is it?
A record for what?
I'll read it again. This fly reel manufacturer is headquartered in South Florida, and they lay claim to an astonishing world record count of over 950 records that the reels have been used for. What reel company is it?
A lot of records.
Yeah.
That's a lot of records. I've got to guess.
At least that's what they claim.
There's a few that I could think of that.
You got 15 seconds.
This is the make or break question here.
It is.
Yeah, we're all
and it sucks because I'm going to have to eeny, meeny, miny,
moe.
5 seconds. A sudden death question. Oops.
I do have one just in case.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay. Your answers, gentlemen?
Tibor?
What do you say?
Tibor?
Tibor?
Yeah.
What's yours, Russell?
Lamson.
Tibor is the answer. Chris pulls ahead.
Honestly, I don't even know what that is.
I wasn't sure.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
I think these really ugly solid-faced reels.
They I don't think they're that ugly. They are pretty bulky though. But supposedly they're
solid reel hater, 100%.
You're a what reel hater?
Solid faced reel hater.
Really? 100%. Why is that?
They're ugly, man. I don't know. Holes. See all the holes, dude. I don't know. If they said that's fine. But yeah. I'm just being a hater, but in jest. but not at the same time.
Yeah, I was thinking either Lamson or Hatch were the two that I was thinking of, but I didn't. Those were both just guesses.
I had heard that Tibor. It was like years back. I was watching a video, and this dude was talking about Tibor. They had mentioned like they had a bunch of records associated with their reels, or that had been used. The reels have been used to catch, but I had no idea it was that high. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, Chris wins the competition.
No, we still got a few more questions.
I thought you said it was only 5 questions.
Sorry, I meant 10. There's 5 categories, 2 for each. I bet. I didn't. Yeah, that was my bad. Sorry, guys. My apologies. Okay,
no worries.
We got five questions left. Chris is ahead. So, moving on. This piece of fishing kit had been referenced in text as early as 200 AD by Romanian angler Elian. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, but anyways. The text describes a technique where red wool and homemade hook were tied to wooden branches. Can you name that piece of equipment? This is early. I know it's very broad, so I'll put in a qualifier before I start the time. This is the earliest description, but its more modern, I guess, successors are in use today. This is how, I guess, where it first got its roots began.
I got something.
Okay, I want to start the timer. This one was a little rough. I didn't really know how to raise this one.
How specific we got to get.
I mean, it's a pretty common piece of gear, I would say.
Okay.
Can you repeat the question?
This piece of fishing kit had been referenced in text as early as 200 AD by Roman angler Elian. The text describes a technique where red wool and a homemade hook were tied to wooden branches. I know it says technique, but it is specifically referencing a piece of equipment. This is just its beginnings.
Okay.
Very humble beginnings. Okay. Stop. All right. Answers?
Limb line?
Huh?
Limb line?
Fly rod or rod?
The answer is fly rod.
Really? That's how that originated?
Is that from
that long ago?
See, I was thinking tenkara, because tied to the branch, and then the second time you read it, I was like, well, tied to a branch, and it said a limb or a branch, and I was just like, a limb line, maybe? I don't know.
So there was this comes from an article that I found from Leland, which is a fly fishing gear manufacturer, and they briefly discussed like the history of fly rods. And apparently that was their first earliest description of a fly rod. But since then, and it was like a solid branch, they could weigh up to 20 pounds or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And then since then, I guess people started getting a little craftier, and they started like making sections and hollowing it out to make it lighter. And, so it just, I guess, naturally progressed to eventually what we have today. Just pretty.
They figured out graphite.
That's it.
That's pretty
That's
crazy.
interesting.
Yeah, dude. That's pretty wild. I hope this is historically correct. That's what I found in a very brief, very brief thing. So we'll see. So Chris is up 2-0. Next question. Norman McLean was a professor at the University of Chicago. But he was also an accomplished author and a serious fly fisherman. He authored a book published in 1976 that later was adapted for the box office, with a movie released bearing the same title of the book. What is the name of the movie and book?
I got it.
Yep.
Well, I'm not even going to put the timer. You guys are pretty confident?
Yeah.
This one should have been a gimme, but go ahead.
Yeah. River runs through it.
The river runs through.
Yeah. I was like, man, I've got to throw something in there to get these guys some points if it's it's going to go. Hopefully, not as well. That's what I thought it was going to go, but we'll see. 3 more questions. Next one. This fish arrived to the U.S. and was imported from Germany in the mid 1800s. It was once considered a prize fish, but is now despised. Can you name that fish?
I'm pretty sure.
Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, you want the answer?
Or I mean, if y'all are ready, we don't. I don't even set a timer.
I'm ready.
I think I'm ready.
All right, go for it.
Carp.
Brown trout.
Carp.
Really? I was thinking brown trout because there's such a stigma. Everybody's like, they're not even native.
Yeah, that question. I almost said brown trout is joking.
I was like, dude, both these guys love carp. I was like, man, they might.
I don't like.
See, well, I don't know. I never knew they were from Germany. I always just thought that like Asian carp, Asia. But I know that's a specific species of carp. But I just assumed they were all from. Yeah. Damn, I'm getting my butt kicked.
It's a very cool history on how they became such great fish over here, you know?
Do you know more about it? About the history?
No, I don't. No, not really. I thought it was from my understanding was like the German immigrants brought them over for food or something. And yeah, mere carpers supposed to have bred without scales. So they're easy to eat or clean or something by like monks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
I would take that with a grain of salt from me until you see somewhere more accurate.
I have heard that mirror carp were selectively bred to make them easier to process for food. So
yeah. The article that I got this from said that. Oh man, see if I can remember correctly. They brought them in with the intention of cultivating them for food, and then they were really popular. People loved them, and I guess I think at one point maybe the government got involved with helping to cultivate, and then I don't know what happened. There was just a change in how they were perceived and received, and they just became a quote unquote trash fish. So,
interesting. I love fishing for them.
Yeah, and I put the German thing. Well, the German thing, like I figured it might throw somebody off, or at least cause a little bit of confusion with the brown trout.
It did for sure.
Yeah, so I put that in there, but it just so happened that a German immigrant kind of brought him over, or whatever.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Okay,
the more you know.
Should put that little rainbow sound effect. Okay. Next question. We were down to the last 2. Chris is running away with it. No offense, Russell.
Yeah.
But all right. The next question. The best knot for connecting 2 pieces of monofilament is known as what? The best knot for connecting 2 pieces of monofilament is known as what? There's a few different answers, but there's one that I specifically gathered from my Google search. That's the one I put.
Who determines if it's the best?
Right.
I don't know. Orvis.
Is this based on how streamlined it is? Is it based on the strength of the knot?
Don't overthink it, dude. This came from Orvis. According to Orvis, there we go. According to Orvis.
Okay.
The Orvis website or whatever. The best knot for connecting 2 pieces of monofilament is known as what?
I think I got my answer.
Same.
My brief search. Okay, let's hear it.
Nail
knot.
Blood knot.
Oh, I was gonna say loop to loop connections because I hate all that
shit. Tippet rings.
Hey, dude, I've used tippet rings. I don't mind them.
So yeah, I don't use tippet rings, but I'd use a micro swivel.
For streamers that use a micro swivel.
Yeah.
I use a surgeon's knot. To me, that's the easiest knot to tie.
Yeah.
May not be the quote unquote best, but it's the easiest for me.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't even. Who knows what knot I do anymore? Some sort of
might knot.
I do a loop to loop. Double surgeon's knot, is that a thing?
Yes.
Double overhand loop. Shit. Who knows, man? Time has passed.
It's a might not,
Right.
dude. Might hold, might not.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
Oh, so what
this
was
point-
the answer?
It was a blood knot.
Blood knot. Okay, word. Nice.
Yeah, blood knot.
Okay.
Okay. So Chris is I think gonna win regardless.
Yeah, he's up by 2 in
So
this last question.
but we'll just
so.
for the for the sake of the trivia game, let's just ask this last one.
The last question is worth 5,000 points.
Shoot. This cast is really at home when casting heavy flies or heavy nymph rig. It is sometimes also referenced as an oval cast and shares a name with a European country. What is it?
Chuck and Duck.
Spay.
Well, I take it back. It doesn't share its name with a Northern European country. It shares its name with a waffle.
Belgian?
Yeah, Belgian cast.
Huh. Never heard of that one.
I like waffles. I haven't either, but I like waffles. So
Damn,
Yep,
Belgian cast.
cast.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a good question. I like that.
So that concludes our first ever round of trivia. Thanks, Chris, for being our guinea pig and participating. What did you think? How was it?
It was fun, yeah. I like games.
Great.
says the one that won.
I learned some.
No, it was fun.
The best knot for mono, and Lance. It's a good song. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Good time.
So did you guys think you learned anything new from this? I know I did.
I learned a lot. Almost every question I learned something.
Dope. I wish I had
may
more.
not be a smart man, but I did know what love is.
I wish I had more time to write like little factoids, but yeah, that's what happens when you procrastinate, I guess. We also decided we're going to do this like, what's today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday.
Yeah.
So
last minute.
Yeah,
a lot of time.
Yep. Well, the prize of the winner in this competition gets a 20% off for our sponsor for today's episode, which is Foretold Coffee Co. So yeah, if you're into coffee, you have a 20% discount that I can get for you. And yeah.
All right. I do like drinking some coffee.
Yeah, I was telling Chris, before we actually started recording, I'm not sure if I've had the conversation with you, Jose, but Foretold Coffee Company, I took some pictures for him and asked him to send me some empty bags because I had some ideas, and he sent me 2 empty bags and 1 bag full of beans. And I'm not a coffee drinker. I know Jose is, but I'm not really a coffee drinker, and if I do, it's like filled with sugar and flavor. And I had just ran out of coffee creamer like a day or two before this bag came in, and I was excited, so I opened it up and I ground up the beans and threw it in my Keurig in my little, instant thingy that I got, and just drank it black. And it is the best black coffee that I've ever had. And it is Mexican honey is the flavor that I got. They got 3 flavors. It's like Mexican honey, El Salvadoran bourbon, I think, and Peruvian cocoa. And dude, the Mexican honey one, I think it's their darkest roast if I'm not mistaken, but it is phenomenal.
Nice.
So,
dude,
yeah.
growing up, like when I was getting ready, I remember when I was getting ready for school or whatever, I would go to my grandma's house and she would watch me and before the bus came and picked me up. But she would always like make her cup of coffee. She loved it sweet. She loved it really light. And she'd make me a little cup of coffee to drink with her. It was like I think she'd use condensed milk or whatever. And she'd make it just like her, sweet and light, but she'd put a little ice cube in there to cool it down because it was too hot for me. So we'd be sitting there on the couch drinking coffee, watching Saved by the Bell, waiting for the bus to come over and pick me up. And dude, awesome. I used to drink coffee all the time when I was a kid. And then my sister, she scared me one time because she told me, she's like, if you keep drinking coffee, you're gonna be short like me. And so I stopped. And I drank like nothing but orange juice after that. Didn't really touch caffeine. And then I get to college, and I would drink it here and there. Nothing crazy. I just didn't really like care for it that much. Started grad school, and dude, I was just like, I was just so drained all the time. And my advisor at the time, he was from Bolivia, and he loved coffee, and so he would brew a pot on occasion for the students there in the lab, and he would offer. And so I remember the first time he offered me one, I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a cup," and he gave it to me, and it was black. And I went to his office, and I was like, "Sir, you got any cream or sugar?" He looks at me, he's like, "Dude, this ain't Starbucks. You gotta drink it like that." And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Man," he goes, "Let me tell you, a good coffee is like a good bourbon. It should be able to stand on its own, or like a good steak." I was like, "Huh, all right." And so I had to force that cup down. But after that, I just started drinking it black, and now I actually prefer it black most of the time. Every now and again, when I go home, I'll put some milk and some sugar, just to kind of, I guess, just because it's familiar to me. It reminds me of my grandma, so sometimes, or it reminds me of home, so I'll drink it like that sometimes. But most of the time, I drink it black.
Hell yeah. Like I mentioned cold brew, man. That's what I drink.
Cold brew is really good.
Yeah.
I'm partial to vanilla and caramel flavors in my coffee majority of the time. But yeah, I've never been like a black coffee guy. That's why I was so surprised with this one.
You ever put honey in your coffee? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I will do that. Yeah. If I don't have creamer or anything like that, a little splash of milk, some honey.
I love honey in my coffee. It's really good.
Yeah.
Helps with allergies too, especially with local honey.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. So, yes, sir. Well, we are quite a ways past our time limit. So,
yeah, the game took longer than I expected. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, Chris, do you have anything going on in 2025 you want to talk about? Any events coming up or anything like that?
I'm gonna be tying at Trout Fest again this year. In February, I cannot remember the dates off the top of my head. I think it's like the 24th, but I'm probably wrong.
Well, let me pull it up.
The internet has all the answers. But yeah, that's about it as far as I know, really.
February 21st and through the 23rd.
Pretty close. Okay, yeah. To the well, I don't know when yet, but I'll be there on one of those days at least. And yeah, that's about it, really. Doing
awesome
tie nights. We're hoping to get better at the tie night stuff and like plan it out more so it can be more beneficial for people. And like tie stuff like for trout season or bass fishing, or think of it ahead of time, and if people want to learn how to tie a pattern, they still can, but it's not going to be planned out at the moment because we're kind of bad at that part, but we're good at having.
Hey, it's all about the getting together, right?
Yeah, we're very good at having a good time. There's usually free pizza, so that's all it takes to make people want to come out there. So come on out, and good beers.
Hell
yeah. Yeah.
Good beers and pizza will bring a lot of people out.
Yeah, like I said, I've only been once, but yeah, dude, the beer's really good. The people are awesome, and you learn a lot, and the pizza's pretty dang good too.
Yeah,
definitely won't be disappointed.
No, yeah, that's about all I got lined up anyway.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on with us and giving us your time and being a guinea pig for some ideas we had. So
I appreciate the invite. It was fun.
Hey, not a problem, man. It was definitely a good time. We appreciate you coming on. And for those of y'all that are listening to the end, we appreciate y'all watching, and we'll catch y'all next time.
This has been Wildlife Outdoors. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Facebook at Wildlife Outdoors and on Instagram at wild.life.outdoors. Let's go live life on the wild side.